What's up, YouTube? What's up, fan base? We are back for another What Do You Love About Fan Base, an informational live where we go over all things fan base, all things fan base. Um, I am fan base ambassador Queen Mo, Monica Love TV. Um, if you're new, I've been doing this for over 11 years. Company, I am my sister's keeper, LLC, spiritual therapist. So welcome to my live. And today, um, I our mental health topic. But before, make sure y'all definitely check the chat. Make sure y'all definitely check the chat. Make sure y'all check the chat. YouTube and fan base. We are streaming live on both platforms. Okay. So definitely, you want to take that. Also, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Fan base is free to download, free to use, free to free to download, and you can invest. We'll be going over all of that today, but I always, if you new, I always go over spiritual topics because that's what I am guided to do. You know, um, these are spiritual lessons, learns, messages, downloads, information that God wants me to pass along. For those new, God had told me a while ago, and He was preparing me to get into this spiritual leadership role. And you know, I really do walk by faith and walk by sight. And these last couple of days have I'm not gonna say test me, because what I've been finding out and what I've been discovering and what's been brought to my spiritual awakening attention, right? Spiritual awakening attention is the fact that we need to stick more together than ever. The community that I speak from and speak on is the community that is overlooked in the lower income communities, people on disability, people that's homeless. Hey, welcome. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Morgan? What's good? Those are the people that I speak up for, and the reason why I do this broadcast is to share awareness of how we can chip in as a whole into the community, because the lower income, the homeless, the disabled, and people who are not up to spiritual standards are always overlooked. And this week's message is pride over precedence, right? I was told yesterday that I was being prideful because I wasn't agreeing with what someone wanted to hand me out. And the situation was they were trying to help me, but it was forceful, right? And it wasn't in the way that I would want to see help. And for those who know me a little bit about me, I've been on my own for a minute. You know what I'm saying? My energy is mostly a helper energy, definitely a helper energy. So that's mostly my energy. But again, I think a lot of times when it comes to people, wanting to help, and this is some tips for people to help low income people and people like that. We need to speak more towards their specific need over, what we can do, right? And for me, I'm the type of person that I would accept help if it makes sense for my situation. That's the whole reason why I created my company. I am my sister's keeper, LLC, because I wanted people to be able to express their needs, and we can help them with their specific needs. You give a person a bag of groceries and they don't have money management skills. And the reason why I love fan base is because, fan base is the minimum to cash out is $5. Um, I just made a video and we'll be going over that. What $5 can bring you. You know what I'm saying? And as long as I've been doing social media, and I didn't even start off social media trying to be an influencer and this like the other, but God seen my hard work and He seen that I wanted to make it in a positive manner. Have I not bumped my head? Yes, I've bumped my head. I've been in situations longer than I should have. I put up with more than I should have. Um, you know, when God told me to stop doing something, I still done it and He gave me a punishment. But the whole message is us learning and growing together. And a lot of times people will pass these type of videos. And this is going into my second point. People will pass these type of videos, these lives and information, and look at me and say, I don't help, right? And so the minimum cash out on the platform is $5, and a half a penny does matter, right? A half a penny does matter, but to the outside world, because we're consuming and we're not fitting in, and this all that energy is a bit crazy. And so what I've been here to do is to speak up on the community, right? And I want people to understand, because you're not on the front page of a magazine or you're not on the top websites, or does not mean that you are not blessed. And the more I came into this 45th life cycle. You know, I understand that I was not supposed to be in the crowd. I was supposed to be leading people, you know what I'm saying, helping people out the matrix and into their better life. And I think that's the difference between me and a lot of other individuals, is I help people get to where they want to be versus the stereotypical, because it gets draining. For a long time, I felt like I had to fit in. I had to go to this club. I had to read this book. I had to do this. I had to do that. And I will always go in those environments, and I will always feel like I was not wanted, and not to, like, my knowledge does not matter, my voice does not matter. So definitely go check that What's News episode. And speaking of that, YouTube, that's going to be a new series. Again, I'm adding things to, you know what I'm saying, to get my point across. you know that if you do not see a lot of these episodes and different things like that, uh you know I want to start numbering stuff, but I just speak, I just go with the flow, and I just talk. You know what I'm saying? So you press the episodes. If you've seen it before, bypass it. I work smarter, not harder. I want to be like, oh, episode 101, episode 202. You know what I'm saying? I just open the mic, open the airwaves, and say what I got to say and keep it pushing. And when I start something, I'm like, episode 1, episode 2. If I think of it, I'll do it. Like with my Chosen One series on Fanbase, I started, numbering that. But other than that, um, I do that. And so, we have to understand and understand that our value is important and you are important. And, I didn't, I didn't want to get in the crowd. I didn't want to fit in the crowd. I felt awkward. Even, now that I understand, you know what I'm saying? I stay to myself, and it's not me being rude or anything. I've always showed up for people. Like, I have a set habit of over showing up for people, sharing their posts, you know what I'm saying, doing things exhilarating. And I had to understand that, you can do that for people, but they may not have the capability to do it back, or they may not want to. So, that part. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe over on my fan base page for your chance to win 1,000 loves. We're going to get into a light message today. And fan base. If you want a reading, just let me know. Just let me know. Just let, you know what I'm saying? Definitely just let me know. Okay, if you want a reading, please by all means let me know. But we understand those who's listening on the web, you know, I'm telling you, when it comes to doing, you know, I want people to understand when you're doing, don't even think of it as social media, right? Think of it, you know, doing what you love, doing what you care for, speaking your voice, using your platform, being original, being consistent. So let's go ahead and get to the message. And then, like I said, it is movie night. Movie night. Movie night. It's movie night on Fanbase. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. It's movie night on Fanbase. So, yeah, it's movie night on Fanbase. We be kicking live stay up for 24/7. So, you know what I'm saying? You come, you know, watch. We watch Wicked. We be watching some cool stuff. So definitely. And if you are a subscriber to, if you are a Love Club member on my fan base page, if you are a Love Club member on my fan base page, you get to pick out movies. I do movie nights, different activities and stuff. Get loyalty, love, the whole nine. Let's get into this message. Someone is shattered. Someone is shattered. What's going on? Nobody tell me that the lust. Okay. It's gonna be. It's still in love with me. All right, somebody shattered that somebody is in a lustful situation about a family. So somebody in the family is shattered that somebody operating out of lust. Let's clarify shattered. Now and then I call your name and suddenly you appear. A crazy game. What's good? Yeah. Somebody is in the Eight of Cups. They shattered in, like I said, they in the Eight of Cups in this walking away energy. You know, so that's that's interesting. Clarify lust. Yeah, somebody is in some lustful energy, and and the Four of Cups, and it's got somebody sad. Clarify, family. Clarify, family. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody is blinded that somebody is in some real lustful energy, and they don't want to be in a family dynamic. That's what it's giving. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, it's more, I got a feeling that it's more than lust. Somebody is missing somebody. Somebody is missing somebody. They missing their lust. You know what I'm saying? They lusting at somebody and they missing somebody. And so and somebody in the family is blinded and don't really see this. You know what I'm saying? They don't really see that this wow. They don't even see this coming. It's going they don't even see this coming. Alrighty then. Suddenly appear. Now that I'm crazy. Hey. Yeah. And it has something to do with somebody's job. You know what I'm saying? Clarify Four of Cups. Yeah, somebody want to be a man, and they want to be with somebody. Somebody is lusting after somebody, missing somebody, and they want to be somebody's main man. You know what I'm saying? But you know they missing somebody. They want it. This is giving more than just lust. You know what I'm saying? They miss somebody, and it's more than just lust. Clarify the Fool and the Two of Wands. Yeah. Somebody is don't want to be with somebody because they're not mature. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't see that this somebody in the family don't see that. You know what I'm saying? They want to leave and go towards a mature woman. Again, somebody in the family dynamic is not mature. Is not mature at all. So they're gonna be a fool and they're gonna be a fool and go for it. Now that I see you soon, it's been a long. Clarify occupation. Awesome. Yeah. Somebody put a love spell on somebody. There's a lot of that going on. Yeah, I told you. I love you. What did I tell you? Somebody want to be somebody's main man. It's more than just lust. They missing somebody. They want to be somebody's main male. I love you. Yeah, somebody loves somebody. Somebody loves you, babe. Oh, okay. So, clarify, yeah, somebody love this this mature woman. Somebody loves you, babe. Yeah. Yeah, they love this this mature woman. They're looking at the memories and the self-love. Yeah, this mature woman has self-love for herself, and yeah, this this person that want to come in and be the main male. Yeah, that love. Yeah, that love this mature woman. And you know who it is. Clarify love spell. Love spell. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Welcome everybody. Yeah. Somebody had an influence on somebody for them to lead a person. That's where this love spell came in. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Somebody used lust somebody use lust. Lust is is a form of love spell. And somebody's in the Four of Cups missing this mature man. It's like, I love you. You love this mature woman. Yeah. This shocking. This shocking that somebody loves somebody. Says, I love you. This is shocking. Mm-hmm. Clarify memories and self-love. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no more sorrow because this person, we don't have to, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Told you. The star. This mature woman is the star. And it's shocking that, you know what I'm saying, that they love him. You know what I'm saying? But people don't even, you know what I'm saying, at the source. This person that's in this family dynamic, they don't see this at all. This person in this family dynamic, they don't see that that somebody, you know what I'm saying? Sorrow in reverse. What's going on? Hey everybody. Mm-hmm. What? They want to come in and what? 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. They getting their money up. This mature man is this main male is getting his money up. The 7 of Pentacles. and this person in his family dynamic. Oh, child. That water was good. Clarify the star. Yeah. The star, she smelling the roses. She over there chilling. Yeah, somebody feeling hopeless. Somebody in the family dynamic is feeling hopeless. Mm-hmm. A masculine. I told you a masculine want to come and be with somebody else, but the person they deal with, they feeling sorrow in that situation. They don't want to be over there. They don't. And the other person don't even see that coming. Yeah. It's a lot of legal issues, a lot of problems. You know. Clarify hopeless. Yeah. They been telling this person they fake busy. You know what I'm saying? They been fake busy. Being fake busy. Yeah, fake busy dealing with a backstab, dealing with a Jezebel. You know what I'm saying? So they been saying they busy, but they backstab they person for a Jezebel that they got a family with. I ain't gonna be in this energy too much long. Not today. Not today. Yeah. Somebody called somebody's bluff in a legal situation. Clarify fake business. Yeah, somebody at a distance. Somebody, I need you, baby. If it's quite alright, I need you, baby. Something won't be nice. I love you, baby. Jezebel. Ugh. Yeah, it's conflict. A lot of backstabbing, conflict over there. Dealing with a Jezebel energy. And if it's quite alright, I need you, baby. So on them lonely nights, I love you, baby. Yeah. Six of Cups. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that person is in the Six of Cups. They don't really mess with that person like that. Yeah. Somebody want to give you the world. Clarify conflict. Knight of Cups. They started Six of Cups. They started slow. You know what I'm saying? Now they're starting to realize that they love you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Clarify the Six of Cups. Yeah. Somebody envy that. Somebody in a family dynamic envy that this masculine loves you. Mm-hmm. The world. Let's say this song. Yeah. Want to give you the world. Told you, established. Mm-hmm. Running towards you. Mm-hmm. Envy. Yeah, it's a lot of drama over there. They ending in the police station. Some drama. Mm-hmm. Wish. Mm-hmm. Wish they should have built it with you and not them. Mm-hmm. Drinking and smoking and trying to cope. I love you, baby. And if it's quite alright. Told you they want to come in and commit to you. Clarify wish. Let's like I said, I ain't gonna be in this energy too much. Mm-hmm. Memories. Yeah, they thinking of ways to escape. They've been drinking and smoking to escape. To escape. Drinking and smoking to escape. Yeah, they've been drinking and smoking to escape. Yeah. Yeah, they've been drinking and smoking to escape. Clarify, commit. Clarify, commit. Log it. Yeah. Clarify memories. Distance. Clarify. Escaping. Too long. Yeah. They escaping. Somebody burning the bridge. They gonna burn. They gonna let you got it bad. Burning the bridge. Clef. Long gang. Yeah. King of Pentacles. Okay. Clarify distance. Da, 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 da. The Empress. Clarify burning bridges. Yeah, Queen of Swords. Yeah. Burning bridge. Queen of Swords. And the Empress. Whoa. Whoa. So King of Pentacles, Empress, and the Queen of Swords. Clarify that King of Pentacles. Yeah, this King of Pentacles was mentally being tormented and physically and being tormented. Clarify the Empress. Court situation. And this Queen of Swords got our guards up. Yeah. Coffin. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of drama out here now. Really about to get out this energy because energy drama made me have hives and heaves and. I like to be peaceful. Oh, excuse me. It's hot. Yeah. Yeah. This is causing waves. Somebody got consequences for their behavior. Clarify, coughing. Clarify, coughing. Yeah, coughing. Coughing with a narcissist. Told you. What's going on? Waves. What's going on? Yeah, somebody. Ego death. Yeah, it's been somebody. Ego death. Consequences. Yep, that's what it's come from. Nobody want that drinking, doing all that stuff no more yet. Clarify narcissist. Yeah. That's what the drama is about. All the court situations. Somebody, baby ain't theirs. Get their true intentions, some love cards, and we about to get on to the rest of the show. We getting ready to do some movie nights. And that's gonna be that. Chasing. Somebody wants to apologize and tell you how much they love you. For having a baby on you. Yeah, somebody wanna return. They've been having an emotional storm about this. Let's get their true intentions, some lovers cards. Want to know more? I do more readings and different things like that. I only peek into the energy when I'm called. So keep your notifications on. I'm always on Fanbase. I'm on Fanbase every day. Matter of fact, lately I've been on my platforms, all my platforms, every day lately. Like every day on my my platforms, I've been posting every day. It's crazy. Okay, true intentions. Come on, man. What's going on? Somebody come and vent about the situation. Yeah, somebody wanted to have revenge. Clarify emotional. Showing intentions. Person love sparks. Yeah. Yeah. They come in and let you know and apologize that the decisions that they made was about greed. And moving forward about positivity. Let's pull some lovers cards. To love. I'll be a fool to learn that love don't love. Told you somebody, it's a separation going on. Somebody coming to vent to you that they separated for real from somebody. Take a fool to learn that love don't love nobody. Girl talk. Clarify positive. Golden mirror. Let's go ahead and get on to the rest of our show. If you're new, Michael TV, aka Queen Mo. Before I get started with anything, I put God first. I put the universal first. I put the spirit first. Been doing this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Said my side of the prayer. Let's go. Let's get it. You know. I know for a lot of people this is, I've been doing this 11 years. Yesterday somebody was laughing, talking about some, are you high? I'm like, I've been bullied and all types of weird stuff. So, I do what I do. So, welcome everybody. We get ready to have movie night. This is Fanbase. Welcome to Fanbase. We have short form video, which is our flicks, long form video. Okay. Camps. Everything is in my link tree. Make sure y'all definitely check the chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. This is Miss Queen Mo in the building. Yes, I'm in the Fanbase streets, and you know what time it is. We have movies, TV nights, game nights, also morning wellness check, Monday through Friday, Saturday movie nights at 9, women's group every Wednesday at 9. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button for your chance to win 1,000 loves. That's right, your girl is dropping them loves in that heart. And be sure to stay tuned and have your notifications on, because I'm definitely in the streets. What's up, everybody? This is Miss Queen Mo in the building. Yep. Okay. $5 to get you on that bus. Right there. $5 to get you on the bus. You hear me? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. $5 to get you on that bus. Right there. $5 to get you on the bus. You hear me? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. $5 to get you on that bus. Right there. We're getting ready to have movie. We're getting ready to have movie night. Okay, we are streaming live on Fanbase, and this is how you make money on Fanbase. I am already streaming. We're streaming live on Fanbase, and your girl done already made. Okay, 1403. Okay. So alright. Streaming live. Make money in the chat. Okay. Alright, let's go, let's get it. Alright. So, alright. Now, fan base, you can invest in fan base. Okay. This is where we're at on our investments. And your girl has your girl is an investor as well. Okay? So definitely make sure y'all invest. It is the first link in the chat. Okay, the different rewards tiers to invest is all right. Updates.
I'm glad you mentioned Kai Cenat, because we're about to segue into a section of this episode that I think is extremely important. What I think important about this is I noticed that there are a lot of famous, popular Black creators, and this conversation we're about to have right now is interesting. I noticed that a lot of the Black creators that are very, very popular are not taking equity ownership positions in some of these companies. And when I started to do research, I started to see that some of these creators are actually taking equity in startups to bring visibility to the app and raise the profile. First of all, I want to start with Charlie D'Amelio, because while we started talking about Charlie D'Amelio, did you know? Have you heard of the fintech startup Step? The Step cards, like kind of like a debit card for young people. Okay. Charlie D'Amelio took equity in that company and helped them raise $300 million by joining the platform and taking an equity position in that company. Yeah. I don't even know what the company is worth now, but leveraging that. I was looking at something else interesting too. There is a company called Poppy. I don't know if you remember this. In Poppy is a soft drink. Yep. And Pepsi bought Poppy in March of this year for $1.95 billion. Yep. Right? And what's crazy about that is that Alex Earl's equity stake in Poppy could be around 1 to 3%. And that 1 to 3% equity in that platform pay her out anywhere between 19.5 billion or closer to 39 to 58 billion dollars.
Are you kidding me?
What do we got to say about that? Why are we not taking equity? Why are we so into the cash up front type of situation and not the equity?
Understanding the value and what equity means in a broader sense. Right? We hear the word equity, we hear it anecdotally. There's not a lot of financial literacy or content being generated around what it means to be a shareholder. Yeah, that's what equity means, and to own those shares. I think the other thing too is that oftentimes, depending on the background of the creator or the entrepreneur, that's going to help shape their understanding of cash and how they operate their lives. Mm-hmm. That's a big driver too. If you're looking to live a particular lifestyle, or you already have a particular lifestyle, you're going to work to maintain that lifestyle. And so you're going to prioritize cash in the bank because that's what's ultimately helping you achieve your short-term goals. So it's a mind shift. It's a mind shift that we have to make around short-term goals versus long-term goals. And I think because certain people groups, certain individuals have been so much in immediate gratification, my short-term goals, I need to go on this trip, I need to buy this car, buy this house. They're not thinking about 5, 6, 7 years from now, but they've never had the opportunity to think about that far into the future to where you start to see those kinds of outcomes. So,
honestly, I actually don't even think that some of those companies even offer equity to Black creators. It's almost like they wouldn't give it to them.
No.
You know what I mean? No. Like I saw Aiden Ross owns a part of Kick.
Yeah.
Right? But I see that Academics is on Rumble. I see Kai Cenat is on Twitch. Yeah. I don't see them trying to cough up any equity positions in those companies. Plus, something like Kick is already part of Amazon, publicly traded company, but Do you think that there's an opportunity being missed? Because I know I've heard of Bryce Hall. I think Bryce Hall had actually some equity in Poppy. I know, like I said, Aiden Ross. I know. I think it's Emma Chamberlain. I think she was part of another audio chat startup that got acquired.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when we see these exits, and it's like, you know,
Yeah.
why? Like for me, what I find interesting about fan base is it's kind of, and I position fan base in that position to say, man, the ability for a creator, for someone to come on board and take an equity position, even if they invest, 'cause some of these people actually invest in the company. It's not given to them. They actually take the money
And write checks
themselves and invest in the startup,
Right.
and be part of the startup.
Right.
And then they say, you know what, I'm gonna use my leverage
That's right.
to scale
Yeah.
the business and then help it get to the next level of investing, because the challenging part about doing all this is the capital part.
Yes.
The money is important.
Yes.
I say that all the time. Like, we've had, you know, there have been multiple startups that have been given venture capital
Yeah.
that have gone out of business and gotten way more money than fan base is giving. This is hard. So a lot of times, like, man, you guys have raised $22 million. I'm like, yeah, but I know companies that have raised $300 million, 40 million, 35 million, and they went belly up in a year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand the talent and the infrastructure costs to build a platform that can support tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people consuming and uploading and all those things. So there are cost implications. But I think one of the things that we haven't spent enough time on is understanding again, going back to equity, right? Sometimes there might be an offer on the table, but we hear such a low number. Or 1% or 0.5%. But you got to understand that that's 1% or 0.5% or 2% of a growing pie, right? So when you asked me earlier about the creator economy, what I do know is that, just to give an example on a global scale, in the next 10 years, we're going to add 2 billion more people to the internet. They're going to have access to the internet. They're going to have access to apps. A large swath of that is going to come from Africa, right? It's from people black and brown people that look like us. If we're not building infrastructure for when those people come online, think about the massive economic opportunity that we're missing out. Again, the pie is growing. That's 1.5 to 2 billion more eyeballs to consume content over the next 10 years. So you think about 1% or 2%, you hear that today, like, oh, that ain't enough. I'm not gonna take that equity deal for that little fledgling company. But you gotta remember that they're building a company in an industry that is growing and set to grow exponentially when most markets aren't growing. Every market doesn't grow like the creator slash consumption market.
Let me look at this camera real quick too. Another thing that I want to say that I think is important is that I understand when people say, look, I want equity in a company, but it's only so big a soft drink company can get, right? It's only so big a tennis shoe company can get. But Roger Federer took 3% in a shoe company and made more money off that than all the Grand Slam titles he ever put together.
Yeah.
And so I think there is an education that we need, something that we need to operate and understand about how we're going to monetize and own all this content and create, and own these industries and these infrastructures, because without it, I mean, we cash rich but equity poor.
Can I give you another quick story?
Yeah.
So Steph Curry was just recently on I don't remember what podcast it was, so excuse me on that, but he was talking about the collective bargaining agreement, the CBA, which is basically the relationship, it's the contract between the players, the Players Association, and the league. Those are two different entities. And one of the things he was talking about was, if one thing that he could shift or change was giving players the opportunity to have equity in the league.
And they said it was like he couldn't do it or something. It was illegal.
You can't do it. You can't do it until you're not playing anymore.
Right.
Think about that. You're in your prime.
Yeah, because he said Golden State wasn't worth what it was.
It was worth, when he was drafted, it was worth $450 million. Now it's the most expensive franchise, only behind the Yankees at $9 billion.
That's crazy. And he had a part to do with that.
He had the whole part
to do it.
to do with
3-pointers is what?
3-pointers, championships, the way that he plays, the way he opened the game up and showed that a 6'2" guard out of Davidson College that know how to shoot the ball can drive value and win championships. And he doesn't get to eat any of that. So when we look at contracts, which is a great contract, right? He's going to make $50 million a year. But the reality is, imagine if he was able to get 1%, 2% of the team when he got drafted, 0.5% when he got drafted, what that would be worth today.
Yeah, because he made Golden State the franchise that it is.
I mean, it's simple math. I mean,
right.
A $4.5 million investment when he got drafted would be, what's that? Be worth almost 190 million. Jeez. If I'm doing my math, it went in my head. Yeah. So that, think about that. Now he made a bunch of money playing.
Yeah.
But imagine I took something from 0 or lower to higher. Again, growing pie. Pie was smaller.
Yeah.
The pie has grown. The NBA is more popular. It's been popularized international. We got teams from Sudan coming in to play ball.
Yeah.
The Olympics also highlight NBA players every 4 years.
100%.
Again, equity. As the pie grows, the question becomes, what slice of that do you own? Don't focus on how big the slice is. Have a slice.
Yeah.
Because if it is growing, that means if the industry is growing and the businesses within the industries continue to grow, that just means that your slice, however big it is going to be more valuable. And that to me is another one more story or tale as to helping me understand that even though they're creating a different type, they're entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
They're entertainers. They're on the court, shoot the ball, pass the ball, dribble the ball, etc. The whole purpose is to increase the value of the team, the brand over the team, the league, and the game of basketball. And imagine if you had equity. It goes back to the same thing with turntables. It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same play over. It's the same play over and over again. Let me think. I know that.
That's it. Invest it. Invest it.
Good morning. Okay. All right. And this is what it looks like on the web, okay? So this is what it looks like on the web. Alright, so we got that going on. And then I have a weekly audio room. These are the audio rooms daily. Shout out Monday Morning Marketing Meeting, definitely a good place. Okay. It is hot. Okay. Good morning.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices to be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you. The marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny. Where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have the chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution. A movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits. Welcome to the second episode of Invested, a limited podcast series hosted by me, Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and Ramiro Cannavas, Fanbase's CTO. This show gives you a fun-low access to the evolution of the creator economy and our active equity crowdfund on StartEngine. Each week, we'll unpack the latest news, trends, and shifts in creator monetization and platform ownership, with special guests who are helping shape the future of this space. We'll spotlight how creators are earning rare money, building equity, and transforming the way content powers culture. So whether you're a creator, investor, or just curious about where social media is headed, Invested gives you the knowledge and access to get ahead. Joining me on this journey again is Ramiro Cannavas, Fanbase CTO, the brilliant mind behind the platform's technology. With over 20 years of engineering experience and a passion for building scalable social products, Ramiro helps ensure Fanbase is always pushing the edge of innovation for creators. What's up, man?
What a nice introduction.
Yeah.
I feel really good. Thank you, Isaac.
Yeah, man, you deserve it.
I'm super excited to be here, with this new format, a new version. Yeah, it's exciting. So let's get started.
I'm glad to have you. So, when you were on vacation,
I was on vacation.
How was
First
vacation?
vacation of the year.
how was it?
It was great. I was able to disconnect for a little bit.
You truly did.
I truly did, but I have a secret.
What?
In my free time, I play around with the AI a lot.
Okay.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't disconnect as much.
Okay, great. So Ramiro was like, it's really powerful for Ramiro to not really be like, I'm glad he got a chance to disconnect. We're always plugged in. I don't mind being plugged in. But we're plugged in.
I actually didn't do my Thursday TikTok for the first time ever.
Wow.
I wanted to, prove myself. The other week I was gonna take it off to
Yeah, just relax.
relax, exactly.
And enjoy things.
But I'm-
Okay. So, the purpose again of this podcast is to number one, highlight our current equity crowdfund on StartEngine. We are raising $17 million in a Regulation A equity crowdfund on StartEngine. That means you right now have the opportunity to invest in Fanbase for the minimum of $399. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest and get 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. Also, we use this time to, again, talk about the creator economy, what's going on with Fanbase, and keep everybody up to date. So I'll hand it off to Ramiro, and we'll just get started on what we normally.
Definitely, yeah. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions first because you just mentioned the race itself, and you mentioned the minimum to invest. But I want to ask you some of the questions that I know some of those are interested in investing will ask as well. How much can I invest, and how often can I invest?
So you can invest as many times as you want. In fact, we've had people invest in Fanbase all 4 rounds. This is our 4th round of investing in Fanbase, and so we've been able to do that. And there is no minimum amount that you need to invest or maximum. The minimum you can invest is $399. There is no maximum. You want to take up the whole round? Take up the whole round. We appreciate it. We love it, and we'll help close the round out.
That's great. So today, besides having a different format, the second episode of Invested, we also have different audiences, right?
Yeah.
Which makes it interesting, exciting. We have on Fanbase audio, which is one of our functionality inside the app. We have a lot of our users tuning in through our watch party functionality, where you can stream through YouTube and bring it inside Fanbase.
Yep.
So we also have those that are in YouTube stream. But added to that, we also have either followers or potential investors or existing investors through our Start Engine live stream. So we're podcasting, we're on Fanbase Audio, we're on YouTube, and we're also on Start Engine Live. So a lot of different audiences. So we're gonna try to make this dynamic, but also make sure that we give enough time for everyone to ask any questions.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you have a lot of those. All right.
Of course.
All right. Well, let's get started. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about Fanbase, where we are and where we're heading. But one of the hot topics that we all know about, it's not part of the future. It's not only part of the present, but it's a little bit part of the past, which is AI.
Yeah.
Right. And I know everyone is like, oh, you gotta do AI here, AI there. So I want to ask you, Isaac, because Isaac Hayes is not only a tech founder, but you're also a creator yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to share from your perspective as a creator how you use AI and how that has helped you to become a better creator, because I think it's important to our topic.
Well, I mean, for me, AI serves as a second brain, which is what actually ChatGPT told me. To use AI as a second brain. Don't rely on it, but use it to enhance the things that you already do. So I use it in everything.
Yeah.
But from a creator space, a lot of even how we were able to launch this podcast so fast was because of AI.
Yeah.
You know, creating artwork, transitions, things like that. AI really helps. It adds to the creative flow of what makes all this stuff interesting and fun and exciting. I encourage everybody to lean into AI, because if you're not, you can either do one of two things: abandon the whole thing together, go the way of just disconnect, or really lean into it, because there's some really amazing things that can help you with your business, help you with creativity, speed up progress. I saw somebody talking about this before, that every time with the invention of technology, people think that they're going to work less, but they wind up working more because we're more efficient. It's like, rather than now you can do twice as much work in the same amount of time in a day. So you're just going to wind up working more, but more efficient.
Yeah, definitely. I remember back in the day when I was in college, a phrase that was stuck in my mind was always, people use technology a lot of times to drive business decisions, when in reality you should use technology to support and empower business decisions. We're in the middle of a revolution, right? AI is a revolution.
Absolutely.
And I love what you said, where you gotta use it to empower yourself, and by doing that, you end up doing more things that you did before, just better, quicker, more efficiently, right?
100%.
I wanna bring that back to Fanbase, because I know one of the questions that we get from investors or even users is, all right, where is Fanbase with AI? What's your posture with AI? And I wanted to spend very briefly on that, but then I want to ask you a very important question on that. Okay, so we talked about AI all the time, and we know it's here. We believe in AI in different phases, in different layers, let's call it that way. Mm-hmm. At the creator side, you already mentioned it, right? We're looking at how AI could make life easier and more efficient for a creator, right? How can you create better? How can you have better insights through AI that allows you to monetize your content better, right?
Right.
So we are analyzing, or we're taking AI within the product in layers that really empowers the creator, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Not replace it. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And then on the organizational side, you've been talking my ear off for a long time. I was like, hey, how we look into agentic AI? Could we speed up our development process, right? We're also looking at our processes and how AI can help us be more efficient and more scalable. Again, not replace necessarily, but make us more efficient so we can ship better, ship fast, and do things like that, right? So with that in mind, I've been hearing from a lot of creators in creators community the fear of creators being replaced.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a big topic,
100%.
right? Tell us a little bit about, I know there's been some stories out there about how brands are starting to use AI. Let's talk a little bit about that because I want to go back to what Fanbase stands for and how we are different, even in the implementation of AI to other platforms. So let's talk a little bit about what you've seen out there, some of the hot topics that you've seen on AI and creators, and what you've seen out
Well, I
there.
mean, I think businesses are going to do whatever they can do to cut costs and increase profits. And in the world of content creation, that means creating AI influencers, platforms using AI. And I don't believe that that's the way to go, but those decisions are being made by companies that are looking at a profit-centered business where they are thinking about making money first before the creator. We're different than that over here because Fanbase focuses on the benefit of the creator first. So if you do well, we do well. That's not how it really works on traditional social media platforms because now they're trying to squeeze as much ad revenue out of the platform as they can. They're trying to cut back on the ability to have to spend so much in hosting and doing all these different things. And for advertisers, it's really hard because a lot of creators make money off brand deals.
Yeah.
And so now using AI influencers, they don't have to pay brand deals. They just create them and do that. The mistake that I think that is being made is that human beings know what's real and what's fake. I'm sorry. I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell an AI generated ad from another. And I think that human connection and that interest that people have in really being connected, especially with somebody that's known. It's like, okay, you can't replace Kobby Lame, you know what I'm saying? Unless he allows you to clone him and then pay him that way, which is fine.
There's always something, right?
Yeah, it's something like that, but it's like you can't replace him. So when you put AI creator number 12 up there, I don't think that that's really what happens because people really want to trust from another person what they're buying. That's the part that's important.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm gonna buy this product, I want to know that the person that's telling me to buy this is someone that uses the product, knows the product, cares about me, I'm related to, understands, relatable, all that kind of stuff. And so creators are really facing fear with that. I don't know how far these platforms are going to take it. In my opinion, I think it's a mistake. I think the reality of IRL, which is in real life content, that makes people really connect with creators is how you're going to be able to sell products. It's the person that's using something that's in real time that you see that's relatable to you.
Yeah.
That makes it kind of something that you want to buy, you want to participate in, not something by AI.
Yeah, I love that. That connection is so important, right? No matter how much we can use AI and how we can make our life easy, we're humans after all, right?
Yes.
Especially when you're trying to identify yourself to a brand. Let's go back into the why fan base because I think it does relate to what you just mentioned, right? One of the things that we love about what we're doing is that our business model is different than all the rest.
100%.
So we're not about the platform.
No.
We are all about the creator, right? So talk a little bit about that, why Fanbase is different, and then we'll go back into this AI topic because I think it's super relevant and why I think we're gonna be different at a level 2.
Yeah, so what Ramiro's talking about is we don't traditionally run ads. Ours is a revenue share model based platform, which means we don't make money until you make money. So what that does is it keeps us focused on creating the best outcome and the best scenario for the creator. So then always use Outcast for those that don't know from elevators. If you don't move your feet, then we don't eat. So we like neck to neck. So if you don't wind up doing well on Fanbase, we don't wind up doing well. So we always have to be creator centered and creator focused, which a lot of these platforms are not. They're revenue focused about getting those ad dollars and making themselves richer. So what I love about that is in every decision that we make, we're thinking about how we can improve the experience for the creator and the user on the platform. It really makes us, different. We care.
It does.
In a way that I think a lot of these platforms do not care. I know that money is a big part of it, or attention, visibility to appear in algorithms, and that's very enticing. But at the end of the day, that's also a means to an end, because I know tons of creators that get millions and millions of views and don't make any money off of these platforms. I actually saw there was a post about how much each creator is paying, each platform is paying per million views, and a lot of people were like, "That's not true," because I got 10 million views on my videos, and Instagram and TikTok hadn't paid me anything.
Yeah.
That's also limited to also biases.
Yeah.
So here's another thing: if you are into things that might not be brand safe, so if you listen to rap music that might have some curse words in it, or if the algorithm doesn't like the clothes that you have on and think it's not brand safe, or you're saying things or doing things, then they're also going to limit the ability for you to monetize. And so again, there's biases towards that, because then creators are punished for trying to just do what they normally do and they don't get paid for it.
Yeah, and it's and that layer before AI already existed, right? The algorithms were determining a lot of these things, and they were diminishing the creator. And now that we talked about AI being in the mix and not being used to empower the creators, but rather see if we can replace them and squeeze some money out of that, that makes it even worse, especially for a lot of creators that they really do great content, and because of who they are, even what they look like, and what kind of content they do, they're not being considered.
Well, I want to talk about that too, because when it comes to AI and the way that these models are trained, let's be real. Like, AI is not really good at black people yet. Let's get it. I mean, and a lot of the AI avatars have misrepresented black people in stereotypes, in certain things that they wear and they say, and the tone of voice and how they say things.
It's 5:20 p.m.
Harmful, is misleading to the creators that you're being represented as this individual. AI is using you and using black people in a way that misrepresents the total culture of black people. And then we already face a wage gap. Black creators already face a 35% less wage gap than white creators. And so AI is just going to widen that, and it threatens inequity in those areas as well, which I just think sucks, because again, creators should not be just forced to have to rely on platforms to pay them directly. And I want to have that conversation in a second, because I think that's important, about platforms that pay creators as opposed to platforms that allow creators to monetize. There's a difference.
Oh yeah, big time. And for those that join late, either through the Start Engine live stream, YouTube stream, or through our Fanbase audio, I want just to do a brief recap, because they're hearing us talking about AI, and first of all, let them know if they're interested in investing in Fanbase, where they can go. Number two is just if you can briefly share what you said, how AI would empower creators versus replacing. I think that would be important so everyone understand the context.
Yeah.
And we'll continue with our conversation.
So Invested, again, is our podcast always about the creator economy, investing in creators, but also investing in fan base. What I didn't say is where we are in our raise. So we're raising $17 million in a Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine, and right now we are currently at $12,830,000. So we're getting closer to 13 million, right? And once we get to 13 million, it's 4 million to go, and that's pretty cool. And so if anybody wants to invest, you go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest, or invest.fanbase.app, right? And those are the only two places where you can invest in Fanbase. Last week, one of the questions was, what are you going to do about people trying to impersonate you? And I told them, I'm like, look, verification matters. I'm verified on Fanbase. I'm verified on a lot of other socials. I'll never hit you and ask you to send me a Cash at me, Venmo me, do it through crypto, give me your bank account information. I'll never do that. In fact, Start Engine serves as an intermediary where you can go and invest in Fanbase. They are SEC regulated, so that's how the money passes through, how we're able to offer these securities to the general public, and they're the custodian of your shares. That's where you make your Start Engine account. That's what holds your shares in Fanbase. So everything starts with making a Start Engine account, and then either following the Fanbase campaign or investing in Fanbase. When it comes to AI, again, I think reality in real life is going to matter. Social media is so much about connectivity.
Yeah.
It's about real human connection. I think there's some really cool, fun things we've talked about doing with AI in that space, but it'll never replace people communicating with people in community. And what fan base is really all about is community first. It's community building. It's having fun. It's creating content, and then it's giving users the ability to monetize content.
Love that. Let's talk a little bit about the monetization aspect that you just mentioned as well. Let's first, for those that don't know, share with everyone how was the revenue model today for Fanbase. And also let's talk a little bit about the making money in Fanbase versus other platforms, specifically about the time that it takes.
Yeah.
And we'll take it from there. So
wait.
first, let's talk about the revenue model for Fanbase.
Okay, so the revenue model for Fanbase is subscriptions. So back when I came up with this idea, I wanted to build an app that allowed people to subscribe to people the same way that you would subscribe to Netflix or you would subscribe to Spotify. And so, but I wanted it to be in-app purchase capability, right? Let's tell that story briefly though, because we got time. Because I want to take us through that journey because that's important, because we went on this journey together. So first came up with the idea. We said we wanted to do subscriptions and we wanted to use in-app purchase capability to do so. What did Apple tell us in the beginning?
We couldn't. There was a limitation at the tech stack layer.
Yeah, they said no, basically, and I was scared shitless. Like I was like, because we had already started building the app. And so Ramiro, this is a good story. So Ramiro says, no, we can't do it the way they want to. And one of the things that I remember specifically is that he says, no, listen to what they're saying. We can't build subscriptions the way that we want to, but we can build subscriptions. And so our initial idea was just that you set a price for a subscription, you're able to purchase that subscription to subscribe to someone, and then the user gets money. What Apple told us and these other platforms is basically on the back end, they keep something for you called a subscription profile. And in that profile, that's how they know that a user is subscribed to Netflix or subscribed to whatever. Apple's words were, we're not going to let you create an app where potentially someone could subscribe to 20 people and you wind up with 10 million users and we got 2 billion subscription profiles to keep up with.
Yeah.
So that had me really, really nervous. But Ramiro said, listen. So he says, we can bend the rules, we gonna break them. And he goes, if we do this, you're about to do something that no one has ever done. I got excited. He's like, listen, that means you're about to do something that no one has ever done. So the original version of Fanbase allows you to subscribe to one person, which was a profile, 3 people, you swap out the 1 for the 3, which is a profile, and a 3, 4, 5, right? And we launched with that. Then again, 2022, we hear they're letting them do subscriptions. Like they're letting other platforms, mainly Instagram, come up with subscriptions. And we reached out to Apple and said, how can Instagram do subscriptions the way that we wanted to, but we couldn't? And I'm not gonna say who said that, our person at Apple, but they said Apple had a change of heart of how they view subscriptions. Yeah. And I was like, wow.
They knew it was the future.
Yeah, they had to realize like, okay, these guys are onto something because now we've democratized the distribution of content, not through platforms, but through people. Yeah. And that's the fan-based model. It's disseminating content through an individual and not necessarily a Netflix. So remember, like, think of yourself as on Fanbase, you are Netflix, you are Hulu, you are Disney Plus. And so there's nothing in between you and anybody on the planet that has Fanbase and your content that you put behind paywalls through subscription in one of the 6 formats we have that allows you to be that. Also, we have micro tipping, right? And that's a new word that I hear is micro tipping through currency we call love. So you like on platforms, which is one way, which is free engagement to acknowledge that you enjoy what somebody's doing. And then I wanted to take it a step further and say, well, not only do I like this, I love it. And so love is a heart icon on Fanbase. On other platforms, the heart icon means like, but that don't really mean like. Yeah. Everybody knows that a heart means love. So a thumbs up on Fanbase is a like, a heart on Fanbase is a love, and every time somebody loves one of your pieces of content, you make half a penny. That adds up, and that's the revenue model for Fanbase.
Love it. So let's talk a little bit about the the revenue process as a creator, right? Because I do want to mention some of the very interesting insights that we know of. We talked about the amount of money that it takes, and now with AI, that's probably going to be even diminished even more, right?
Yeah.
The amount of money that it takes a creator to make their first dollar in any other social media out there.
Yeah, so the average time it takes for an individual to earn $1 on social media platforms is 6 months. So you got to be on TikTok, Instagram, all these other platforms. It takes you 6 months of using the platform before you can make your first dollar. On Fanbase, people are making that first dollar in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks to 6 months is a big deal. And that doesn't necessarily mean, in my opinion, that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have all these hurdles to jump through, all these enormous processes that you have to jump through. You can start making money from day one on the platform. We see people making money on Fanbase as soon as it happens. Like, people making money the first couple minutes, couple hours, couple days on the platform, and we love that.
Let's talk about the concept of the creator itself. I remember when we first met, one of the things that you always believed is that everyone is a creator. They just might not know it, or they might get overwhelmed or saying that's too tough. So take a little bit about the concept of the creator for us at Fanbase.
So I believe that every single person on social media that's using social media that engages in any way is a content creator. And what I mean by that is, if you're in the comment section, you're creating content, right? If you are in the DMs, you're creating content. All of these things is how people engage. So not only if you post photos and videos and all that kind of stuff, the comment section has become part of the universe of social media. It's become part of the whole thing that everybody's into. Everybody runs to the comment section. It's like everybody knows if you see something funny on social media, you're gonna run to the comment section. If you see somebody with a crazy outfit on, or somebody doing something totally ridiculous,
Is it on X?
yeah, right? You know they're like, okay, there's got to be commentary around what just happened, and so you too are a content creator. What I like about Fanbase is that even in those moments, the ability for someone to tip you for your participation in those things is there with love. So even in this chat room, even anybody that's looking at the pod, giving love away inside the chat right now, and I'm looking right now, you can give love by what you say. So a comment, you can show love on a comment, you can show love in the chat, you can show love in the DMs, all those places. So that really is a great way to do that. Now, I didn't get a chance to touch on this, but I want to talk about this.
Yes.
I was on another platform, another audio platform, this week, and some of the people on the platform were really upset, which was funny because they were like, "How come Fanbase?"
Hold on, were they upset enough to leave and come to Fanbase, or upset?
Right, exactly. They were not upset enough to leave and come to Fanbase.
Okay.
But they were upset.
Okay.
But the question was asked, how come you're not paying so-and-so? How come you're not paying these audio creators that are on these apps, right? That are on your app in XYZ? And I'm like, well, first of all, it's not really a sustainable business model. It's not a sustainable business model for platforms to the platform itself to pay creators. So if you think about platforms like TikTok and Instagram, the platform is not paying you. They're taking some of the ad revenue that they're making and sharing that with you and paying you. That's different than a platform paying you directly.
Yep.
It's not a sustainable business model. So for people out there that are wondering why platforms are not just cutting checks to creators, you can't pay everybody in that fashion. What also tends to happen is, on a lot of these platforms, they're not going to let you make money until they make money. Their goal is to monetize you. You have to be the product first and foremost before they can allow money. And even on this one platform, they've been around, in audio longer than we have, and they definitely launched a platform where you can pay them to have extra photos, stuff like that. But they still not provided a way for the creators to monetize and make money, which is really what we puff our chest up about. We are the first platform that brought a social app that brought the ability for people to monetize directly to consumers. That's before Snapchat, that's before Instagram, that's before TikTok, that's before YouTube, using in-app purchase capability, no credit card. We're the ones to do that.
Yeah, I love that. So let's shift a little bit gears and go back to the AI conversation, because I know that some people join late and so on. So we talked about what's happening today, where we have some platforms that they are using AI not necessarily to empower creators like we want to do here in Fanbase,
Yeah.
but they're trying to basically replace them so they can squeeze that money and try to make more money for less effort, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about how we're gonna translate that, how we translate that in Fanbase, right? For creators, and also let's talk specifically about those that are undeserved, the creators. You have, the Black creators that they already struggling today, and now you have AI that is replacing them. What can you tell them as a Black creator yourself, how they can utilize AI to empower themselves, to improve themselves?
Well,
Especially in the in what we're seeing out there in all the other social media.
Well, I think, not necessarily creating the difference between a platform or a brand creating an AI creator. You can use AI to expand your reach and your ability. I'll give you a good example. A lot of people are doing this right now. Let's say you're a content creator or a podcaster or a YouTuber. You can use AI to translate your voice into other languages. So a lot of podcasts are putting the English version out, and then they're taking their voices.
I heard you Spanish. Sure, you sound good in Spanish,
Exactly.
man.
And they're using AI to translate their voice into Spanish, and then reach larger audiences, and translate their voices into Chinese and then German and French. And so now these other these countries with other languages, now your content is not limited by a language barrier.
Yeah.
That's a really great way to utilize AI to expand your reach. Also, I always use like people are now creating AI avatars for themselves. I want to do that. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to do it.
I know you do.
I've cloned my voice.
You love experimenting with it.
I've already cloned my voice. And I've used it, and people didn't even know that it was me. I use it on content sometimes, because then you can mass produce content and use it in a way that was like, all right, cool, I can read and do all these things. I don't have to use my voice all the time. I can just type out a bunch of prompts and use that to create amazing content, and that's saving time.
Well, I did tell you that now there's starting to be all these companies who are formalizing cloning yourself through AI.
Yeah.
Basically,
Tell them which way you mean cloning, though.
like, I mean cloning in the sense where you can put yourself into being inside a platform anywhere, and gets into your brain. You basically clone your brain, your personality, everything. It's scary because it's evolving, right?
Yeah.
And then they're formalizing that, and they're creating these, I know that they're calling avatars, but they're really these AI versions of you, and they're using that and integrating that throughout the ecosystem. Examples: you're in a large company and you want to talk to the CEO. Now you can talk to the CEO. You're not talking to the CEO, you're talking to the AI image of the CEO. Or if you want to talk to the founder through a chat,
Right.
not even knowing this. So there's a lot of creative, but also some other ways that they're hitting that border level where you're starting to lose that authenticity, right? That you're talking about. So it's definitely interesting. It's exciting. It can be dangerous, but what I always tell everyone is, you have those that say, hey, I need to get into something that AI can take over, but the mindset should be, you know what, I need to use AI to get a better version of myself, empower myself, do things better, or do more things better. So,
Yeah. I see something funny in the chat.
Yeah.
And I really want to do this, so let everybody know that just because you put this in the chat, Ike Jackson, want to do this. Ask Isaac AI Room. Ask all the investors questions we want.
Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah, well, so I did mention earlier that we are working with AI at different layers, right? We have the product itself, which all you guys use. but also in the organization itself. As part of the organization, to me, one of the biggest problems with AI in organizations is the dissemination of information through different AI models. You have one guy that is using ChatGPT, another one is using Claude, and so on, right? So the idea is, how can we centralize all that valuable information that is being fed to the different brains and then start creating integrations and products out of that? An example is exactly what you said. How amazing would it be for having an audio room where we have Isaac available at all times answering questions, right? And so that's a little bit of the direction that we're going. But I feel like a lot of companies, even platforms, are trying to just jump. They're trying to implement AI just because it's AI.
Right.
They're not going through the basics and the rail guards of the right way of implementing AI to give true value and make sure that it's relevant too. And so that's a little bit of the challenge, and why sometimes it takes longer than we would like. But as part of this race also is for us to be able to invest in AI, not only in the product, but also as an organization to continue becoming more scalable and doing things better.
Yeah, I think you can't replace people. You can, I know that images and sounds, I think what AI is going to provide is, well, I'll say this. I feel like these platforms are making their stake leaning so heavy into AI because they're getting away from the things that reality is really what matters to people. Real life. I was talking about this late last week that, the most watched program on television is football. People watch, in the United States of America, people watch American football all the time. It's the most watched. And the reason why is you don't know what's going to happen. Real life matters because you don't know what's going to happen. Even so much to the point now that last season they changed the distance in which you kick an extra point. And people were missing extra points. So you used to, before, anybody kick an extra point, that was the time to go to the bathroom. Anytime somebody score a touchdown, let me go use the bathroom real quick. We know they about to get the extra point. Now, they missed about half them joints last year. So you really are locked in. And so real life, that was just one little tweak that increased retention in football. That's why real life matters so much and people really care about what's going to happen. And so I think reality is going to matter so much that, with live streaming and people being able to communicate in real time, the chat is part of the conversation now. Yeah. And so I don't want to be in a room full of a whole bunch of AI chatbots. I like everybody that's in the audio room right now, as we're live on Fanbase, that real engagement and that real conversation, because you just don't know what's going to happen next.
Definitely. So.
Oh, yeah. So Andy, do we have questions? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna leave the. Yeah, we're good. We can start taking some of the questions that we have there.
First question for today is, how does an investor who does not do content on the site get paid from the initial investment?
So the investment that you're making in Fanbase is like a seed level investment, a pre-IPO investment, right? So that means you ride the life cycle of the company. So every private company that's ever existed has raised money in a private fashion. The difference is that now through equity crowdfunding and the Jobs Act, it allows the general public to have access to invest in startups in a way that were only reserved for rich people who either made $1 million, made $200,000 a year for 2 consecutive years, or had $1 million worth of net worth minus their house, right? Minus their residence. And so you're investing in Fanbase the same way that early investors were allowed to invest in other social apps like Twitter, like Facebook, like Instagram. It's just you're not one of the already rich people. Now, once that happens, you ride the life cycle of the company to one of 3 or 4 eventualities, 3 of which are liquidity events. And the liquidity event is just one of 3 actions, which is a merger, an IPO, or an acquisition. And so in those scenarios, someone would acquire Fanbase at the new value that the company is at the time that you bought it. So right now we're valued at $160 million. If Fanbase gets to when Fanbase gets to higher valuations, and if somebody wants to acquire the company and we feel that's something that we want to do, then Fanbase will be acquired and every person that has stock in that company will be paid at the new value of what the company is. Going public is selling the company to the general public. You take a portion of the company, put it on the stock exchange, allow people to buy shares in it. Typically at that point, most people that are seed investors in companies choose to exit the company. So the seed investors usually decide to sell their stock, on, the first opening day or so, and then cash out. So that's why when you hear sometimes companies get acquired, they go public, everybody sells their stock when the moment it hits the stock exchange and cash out. Now you can decide to keep your money into the company and keep growing with the company if you want to see your stock continue to grow. But that's how, as an investor, you make money with Fanbase without having to create content and getting subscriptions, is by investing in the company, riding the life cycle of the business, and then being there for a liquidity event.
Love that. So we have a few more questions here. Some of them are more tech oriented, but I'm gonna try to get the ones on the reggae. Someone said, "What are your plans after closing this round? Series A? What do you have in?"
Well, I think the goal for Fanbase is always to be sustainable through revenue. But sometimes you want to grow faster and grow bigger, and you take on additional capital just to add a little bit more rocket fuel to what you're doing. So for now, once this raise closes, we're still focused on retention, increasing our MAU, becoming independent of some of the technologies that we use now in the company, just really being able to be free to build in ways that we want to do. And so that's what this raise provides us to do. And something that Justin mentioned last week, which a lot of times people don't ever really consider, is that raising capital provides you also the opportunity to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? To say, we tried this, it didn't work.
Well, we call it experiment.
Yeah, and a lot of it is experimentation. It's like we experiment one way, it worked, this didn't work, and so we try again. And so it's not like people launch companies and they get everything right out of the gate. But what you don't want is, and especially in Black founders, I'll say it's a lot of times, you don't want it to be like, okay, business is over, project is dead, close the business down. A lot of times other businesses are allowed to be funded infinitely until they are successful. That's why this raise is important, because we're on to something phenomenal here, but we want to be able to move faster. And then also with the raise, it gives us the ability to bring on more amazing personnel to Fanbase. I've asked somebody to join the pod next week. I don't know. Matter of fact, I think I just want to do it. I'm going to say this right now. I think I want to do it with just her next week. But guess who I asked to join the pod?
You guys heard that, right?
Hold on, but listen who I guess who I want to join the pod next week?
Who?
Lauren.
Okay, all right.
Lauren, she's a little nervous, but for people who don't know.
Well, she's gonna do great. She did great in my TikTok.
Yeah, Lauren is the product owner here at Fanbase. She's kind of like my BFF between the development team, and so she makes sure that everything is running smooth with Fanbase and how we do it. But it'll be good. But the ability to bring on really great personnel and talented people, that's what the raise is about. So our plan is just to keep building and growing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna try to answer some of the questions, the technical questions, talking a little bit about our roadmap and what's coming soon. We had some questions about potential integrations in the future in our watch party functionality. The answer is yes. Isaac mentioned that our number one focus is retention.
Yeah.
And also we're exploring new and different revenue avenues, always thinking about the creator first.
100%.
Again, that always makes it fun. We're working on a brand new version of the algorithm.
Yes.
Guess what? The algorithm is not ad-centric. It's creator-centric, right? And content-centric. So as we work on retention, and we're working on retention by simplifying a lot of journeys inside the platform, how you search for content and creators, how you create content, right? And that also will eventually be related to how we implement AI in the future, and how we make your life easier to become a better creator, not to replace you.
Right.
It's very important. And so we're doing all these things that are coming up very soon, and we're super excited. Maybe that's one of the topics that Lauren can talk about next week.
I'm excited. She was like, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you what we're going to talk about, but her perspective is really unique, and I think it's a great opportunity for people for investors and the community and even people on the app to learn about her.
Yeah,
what her
different
role is.
voice, because every time we talked about the roadmap and technology, it always comes from me, my Thursday Tech Talk.
Yeah.
So it's always great to talk from someone that even comes from a different background as well.
100%.
Yeah. So something that I want to mention as well as part of the roadmap, I did mention that we are, we're looking into new revenue avenues for our creators, right? We're experimenting a lot. And that has to do with what you said. Our number one priority is also how we can become self-sustainable, generate more revenue as well. So I want to mention as well, because we had some questions about, hey, are you guys thinking about a fan-based marketplace? Are you thinking about, we're definitely considering e-commerce as a way of revenue in the future. We are considering as well, as AI grows and as all those AI models have been trained, we're also considering how we can benefit the creator and the content they create to generate revenue out of that as well. So we're looking at a lot of creative ways to really make you more successful. We talked about it takes 2 weeks for someone to make $1 fan base.
Yeah.
For us, if we wake up every morning and says, okay, how can we get them as quickly as possible
$1
to that?
a week or
to get the $5 so you can get paid out, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of exciting things that is coming down the pipeline, and this investment is allowing us to do, and I'm excited about it. Yeah.
Andy, do you see any other questions in there? I always like to say, Andy, see everybody. If you don't see, Andy's a producer of Invested. He's behind the scenes, but you'll hear his voice coming from time to time.
It's an amazing job, but if you have complaints, Andy's the one to do.
Yeah, right.
The only other question I saw.
Can we look at the start engine as well, just in case we have anyone,
Oh, yeah.
any questions there? Yeah.
I know a question on Fanbase was, what is the difference between an investor and a partner?
An investor and a partner. So partnerships are like creators, businesses that we work with in conjunction with the app. An investor is someone that actually puts money and actually sits on the cap table of the company. So you sit on the cap table of the company, you own equity shares in the platform. Partnerships is our ways that we can align with brands, creators, other entities to maximize their experience on Fanbase that's beneficial to them and beneficial to us, to create unique experiences, opportunities. We've had some partnerships in the past. We've done MAC Cosmetics as a partnership. Who else have we done as a partnership? We did a partnership with Propel, Apple's nonprofit. Who else have we done? Is that it?
No, I mean, we have a lot of partnerships in the pipeline now that
Yeah.
we're working, but I don't want to mention because marketing is going to get me in trouble.
Right. We don't want to say, we don't want to say some of the other partnerships that we have coming up, but those are really, really interesting things and ways for us to kind of connect and expand our relationships.
But it's a great question because, the reality is that yes, an investment helps us grow, helps us become more scalable, but a partnership is also super valuable to us. A partnership not only can bring mutual value, but can bring audiences, can grow our fan-based community. It can also bring revenue opportunities, right? So in some ways, it's kind of an investment as well. So I just wanted to, on top of what you said, mention how important partnerships are for us. Again, we're a small team, so we're trying to be very, efficient with the type of partnerships that we do where we need to go next.
But let's talk about that real quick though.
Yeah.
So with this raise, let everybody know, like, we've added a lot of people to the team.
Yeah, we've done.
You
Yeah.
know, I name, like, we don't have to name everybody. Name all the, because how many extra people have we added to the team?
Well, it's been a very hectic past, I would say, 3 to 4 months
Right.
for us. We added around 20 people across the board. One of the things that we realized as we experimented, as we grew as a company, is that really investing in the forefront of product development was a really great way of creating great product. You mentioned you want to build the best platform for creators in the world, right? So we brought, product owners, business analysts, new Scrum Masters, really professionals that helps us really shape the requirements and what the creators really want. Not what we want, but what the creators really want. Before we even put any line of code, right? A lot of time people think that building an app is like get it like 1,000 engineers and you're good. And there's so much more. So we've been investing a lot, thanks to this investment, into the forefront of development. We also have brought some technical skill set as well. And also we've grown our marketing side. This week we have a new multimedia designer who I'm very excited to eventually introduce to everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's not only to build great product, but also how you convey all the value that you're giving to creators. And that's why our marketing and product marketing team is also important in our growth and why we've been hiring there as well.
Yeah. This is a I'll take this question. We'll take this. Read that question in the chat because that's a real technical question. You want to answer that question?
Well, I mean, I've seen several. Is that the last one? Which one?
But Williams White.
Williams White. Are they working on the overheating and battery drain and crashes?
So I didn't know. So this is a question I asked you. So can there be energy consumption between apps?
Yes. So this is something that we are aware that we're working on as we develop. So you mentioned Fanbase has 6 different type of content formats, 6
Yeah.
different verticals. So imagine grabbing Clubhouse, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube,
and putting it all
in
together.
one native application, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of functionality, a lot of media. So one of the challenges that we have is also how can we bring those worlds together and make sure that the experience is seamless and also doesn't consume much energy, much data. So as we grow as a company, we also brought some skill sets that can help us improve our architecture, our data consumption. So when you're in an audio room, no matter if you are in Ghana or if you're in Argentina, the way you're consuming data is efficient to your phone and your app because that goes into the app experience itself. So there's a lot of layers into building an app, especially an app like Fanbase, but we're considering it. So as we, for example, refactor the way you are going to be able to create content, we're looking, okay, how will the data, without taking quality away, because for a creator, the quality of the content is important, right? And how can we make that efficient? So we're getting better. There's still a lot of work to be done. We need, we're still doing, thousands of engineer type job with just a small team. But I think we're definitely looking into that and seeing because we understand that happens. And we're definitely going to be improving that experience for sure.
I think that's great. I mean, like I said, we're learning, we're growing, we're getting better every second of every day. I want to talk about briefly before we go the process of actually investing in Fanbase.
Yeah, that's important.
Because we get those questions too, like how do I invest in Fanbase? I spoke about some of these things briefly, but the way to invest in Fanbase, first and foremost, is go to startengine.com/Fanbase. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. You will sit on the cap table of this company and own it with the over, I don't know how many investors we have. I don't know, 29, 30,000 investors. It's a lot.
It's we have 20, close to 29.
29K investors that we have. So first and foremost, you will make a Start Engine account. Go to startengine.com, create an account. There you will say, you will find a fan base on Start Engine, or you'll already be there and say, I want to invest. Once you invest, that money goes into escrow, which means we don't have that and you don't have that. During the time, there's a regulatory background check that Start Engine does to make sure that you're not trying to launder money, but sometimes people try to launder money.
Yeah.
And we don't want people to launder money through the raise. Once that's done, you will get a notification, some sort of email to confirm your investment. This is the most critical part about investing in Fanbase because if you do not confirm your investment could possibly be sent back to you. And there have been times that people feel like they've invested in Fanbase and have not confirmed their investment because the SEC wants to make sure that you feel like you're making the absolute decision you want to make and not just rushing into an investment. And we're comfortable with that. We're fine with that. We've been successful, with going through that process. And then once that happens, that money gets sent to us. And once that money gets dispersed to Fanbase, you are then investing in Fanbase. And so that's the process of investing in Fanbase. It can take anywhere from 2 days to about a week. But people are really, happy about investing in the product. And that's how you're able to become part owner in the company.
Definitely. And we are right at the top of the hour. We good on time, Andy? Or
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I want to make sure. I know some of you ask some questions. If you want to partner or you want to bring any type of sponsorship opportunities to Fanbase, you can email us at partner@fanbase.app. We also have a partner section in our website. So if you go to fanbase.app, you're going to see a partner section there where you can see more information. But we're all about partnerships, so they are very welcome. Okay. Someone said, will there ever be more marketing or advertising tools added to get a content in front of more eyes? So we're definitely looking, like I mentioned, when I talk about revenue opportunities, we're looking across the board, right? And so we are looking at, how a non-disruptive creator-led advertising model would look like eventually in the future.
You want to explain what a non-disruptive creator advertising model is?
Yeah.
So non-disruptive creator advertising is when you're on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, they're never letting you reach all the people that follow you because you yourself would have the reach equivalent to them. And so brands would come and pay you and not pay them to advertise. So that is restricted. So if you have 10 million followers, they're not going to let you reach 10 million people. They're going to limit your visibility and smush that down to about 3 to 5% of your following, so that advertisers have to come and advertise through them to run ads, because it's a free market. If you have 10 million, if you can reach 10 million people at will, then brands would come and pay you and not pay Instagram, TikTok, and so on and so forth. So we want to create non-disruptive advertising that doesn't limit your reach, but still allows you the ability and allows us the ability to run advertising.
Yeah. Again, we wake up every day thinking about the creator, how can they have a better experience and their audiences, how they can make more money in the quickest way possible, and also how we can use AI, or they can use AI to empower them as creators, not replace them.
And we don't, AI again. As much as I love AI, nothing is going to really, replace humans by way of social media in the way that we want to engage. We want to have real connections. It's kind of one of the things that I said before. This is interesting. Something that I used to say all the time is that live musicianship. It's just something about hearing real instruments played by human hands. It's more of an organic connection. When EDM was out, I like EDM, I got it, but real musicianship, you know that there's somebody behind the piano that's a human being on the other side of what you're playing, and it's expressive and it's live.
It's a beauty.
It's connected, it's emotional, and so again, AI music is here. Don't worry about that, but it's not the same as hearing somebody really just connect.
Or seeing their expressions while they're playing.
Exactly.
A lot of times I lose myself just like, oh my God, look, it's like playing the guitar and piano.
So those are things that are special, and so as much as AI can be used as a resource and tool, we want to make sure over at Fanbase that we're providing the tools to enhance but not replace creativity and creators.
Yes, amen to that. So we're at the top of the hour. I'm gonna let you do the outro. This is exciting. We're changing the structure. Second episode of Invested.
I love this.
Yeah. So if it's your first time, we welcome you to join us every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It is being recorded, and it will be available through podcasts.
All podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Amazon. You can listen there. We also will be premiering every episode of Invested on Roland Martin's YouTube channel, which is amazing. He's a great partner, and catch those episodes there and those segments. And I actually might do a watch party tonight to recap last week's episode. There's some real nuggets of information and news that were still there. To be able to do that so people know. So thanks for everybody tuning in. Again, we are raising $17 million in a Regulation A equity crowdfund on Start Engine. That means you can go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. The minimum to invest is $399. This is not a donation. This is not GoFundMe. This is not Kickstarter. This is real equity to sit on the cap table of an emerging social media platform that you can own. And I'm doing this intentionally because who better than to give the opportunity of ownership than the actual people and the individuals that actually make the platform what it is, that are the ones that make Fanbase a success. most people don't get the opportunity to invest in startups in that fashion. And I've seen multiple instances where we've kind of met the demands or met the moment where people or creators were displaced or locked out of opportunity, and that's where we came to do what we came to do. Audio was birthed out of a whole bunch of creators not being allowed to invest in Clubhouse, and I was like, well, we need to build audio to allow audio creators to own the platforms that they bring their voice to and do that. So if you are on Clubhouse, if you are on X, and you're one of those individuals that feel like you have an amazing voice, an amazing audience, and you're not getting compensated in the way that you should be, then you should be investing in Fanbase and actually owning part of the platform, because then now your effort is not in vain. It's actually increasing the value of an asset that you own. So thank you to everybody for tuning in for our second episode of Invested. We will be back next week, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on all podcast platforms and Fanbase. All right.
All right.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, guys.
All right. I am getting ready to go over to my fan base page, and we are getting ready to do movie night at 9 o'clock. Again, thank you for joining me. Yeah.
Bravery is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome it. We stand for those who defy suppression, who speak out, and those who walk the road less traveled. Everyone deserves to be seen and their voices to be heard. We're sparking a movement, growing a community of creators united by the desire for freedom, choice, equity, and ownership. At Fanbase, it's all for one and one for all. We support each other to guide, promote, and uplift you in a place where you can unapologetically be yourself. A place where your voice, ideas, and creativity are not just welcomed, but celebrated. We are Black founded, minority funded, and supported by a diverse, inclusive, powerful community that believes in the strength of authenticity and individual choice. Regardless of success or background, we welcome you, the marginalized, the underappreciated, the successful, the superstar. We're for all who seek a space to express themselves freely, where they are rewarded for being their authentic, true self. We transcend labels because only we have the right to define ourselves. We are built for the brave, the culture, the creators, and for the future where everyone has the power to shape their own destiny, where all are empowered, voices are amplified, and freedom is embraced. For the first time, you have the chance to own the platform you helped make popular. It's a revolution, a movement in how we connect, create, and share. Everyone is a creator, and everyone has a fan base. Here, you can be you without limits.